up, y'all? It's your boy D. I'm here with my man T and my big dog Drew, and it's a Saturday morning traffic. The greatest podcast, not the latest podcast. And today on this episode, you know how it goes, man. NBA, NBA, NBA. And I ain't talking about never broken again. Talking about National Basketball Association. So we touching every topic today. We're getting to the real nitty gritty.
Absolutely. We're also going over that UFC fight. A couple.
Yes, sir.
That main card was a little crazy, so we're gonna go over that and have another open mic session. So, Drew, you have anything else?
No, it was just a lot of guys that had their pillows and had their blankets and was put to sleep.
Absolutely. All right, let's get into it.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's get into it. As you guys see, Masvidal and Usman was the main event, but the whole card was pretty crazy. But obviously, this was everything leading up to this for yesterday's fights. What did you think of the fight, Drew? And what about all the other fights that were going on too?
So this one in particular, one of the things I like looking at the most, as far as like fight and whatnot, is Joe Rogan's reactions to whenever a knockout happens. Oh my God. Like, I mean, joy in your life when you see him scream. Because the thing is, you know that you did it as well. And it's just something elated about it. But this fight was cool. I think the way Jorge came out, you didn't really know what was going to happen. But then once Usman started tagging him and getting more comfortable in range, I just felt like it was a matter of time. And then the second picture happened.
What about you, D?
Hey, man, don't skip leg day. Just don't skip leg day, dog. Just do your squats and your calf thrusts or whatever they call them. But in his case, he got knocked out like that because the way he got his hair braided, man. That's not proper skull protection, man. What are you doing walking around like that? That's how I know a black person didn't braid his hair. A white lady named Sally did it at the salon down there in Beverly Hills. That's why he got knocked out like that.
Are you sure it wasn't Karen?
No, Karen's not caring that much. He's seen those braids and was like, oh, so you gonna cultural appropriate? Bet I'm finna knock all the Tech 9, all the Immortal Technique right out of your scalp. You got knocked out. That's why I say that's how it started versus how it ended. It went from where my hood at to I'm slipping, I'm falling, I can't get up.
All right,
he got served, dog.
One thing I will add, I have kind of noticed, and I find it interesting, how Dana White has kind of been capitalizing on the political climate for the fight game. I guess, so before this, I know Usman's, prior to the Jorge fight, the first Jorge fight, I think he was fighting, was it Cowboy, was it Colby Covington? Is that his name?
Oh, that's another thing. Colby Covington will have the win. It will probably fight Usman now.
I saw that. But remember was he the one that came out and was making these pro-Trump comments?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Maybe I jumped ahead of that one. But anyway, don't cut this. Because Jorge had made some
he's a Trump supporter. Like,
exactly.
He's big.
You know what I'm saying?
That Florida shit.
Exactly. So I feel like Dana White's definitely playing on that and cashing out on it as well.
I mean, as a businessman, it's smart.
No, it is. Yeah. I kind of feel two ways about it, but I mean, he's getting his money, but
for him in business, it's all about making money. So that's all he cares about. So obviously this will sell.
Yeah.
For me, at the beginning of the fight, it was Jorge was doing a lot of leg kicks and he was getting them. He tagged him a couple times. He just never fell. Usman never fell, or But then he was getting very, very cocky. Kind of how Silva was. We're like, hey, you can hit me. Oh, I'm too quick type of thing. And then you get caught. And that's essentially what happened. So when he's like, how it started, he's smiling. It's not really the start of the fight. I mean, it's a minute in almost. Or this is the second round. But like he was like, oh, you got me, cool. I'm going to laugh at you because you can't hurt me is was coming off. But I do think if Jorge was actually focused, like a real fighter should be focused going into this fight, he would have had a better chance and he wouldn't have got knocked out. I still think Usman would have won because he would just took him to the ground because Usman's a way better ground fighter and he's getting better every day as a striker. And I think Jorge's legs just would have went out. But because he was cocky, he got caught. And I call that karma, you know?
My thing is, I don't know. Like, I feel like this is Jorge at his best. Just because if you look at what was it, Askren, the knee drive?
5 seconds.
Yes.
That's out in 5 seconds. Fastest in UFC history.
Right. And then to this point now, I just feel like, it's kind of one of those things where people kind of prepare like for like a basketball game. Like sometimes they like a joke and laugh. Some people take it more serious and just like real stoic and don't say much and whatnot. Like you can't really change someone's like their preparation and their approach to something and expect it always to be have one like product result as a result of that.
Right.
So basically, like, I mean, if D likes to, eat oranges before he hoops, I'm not gonna be like, yo, we're gonna put you on a strict diet and whatnot, as far as like going into a game or something. Let the man eat his oranges. You know what I'm saying? Like that's him, I know that's just one example, but it's just like everybody's not the same. It's not a cookie cutter mold for everyone. So
to me, that's just weird to eat oranges before you hoop, bro. Like,
yeah.
That's kind of weird.
Hey, dog, there's NBA players that do weirder shit than that, bro.
Hey, I to be honest, like when I work, I don't eat anything prior to doing any sport or just pickups or whatever. I never eat because if I eat, I can get cramps. Like,
or you end up like Paul Pierce, shitting on yourself and blaming it on a leg injury.
Getting carried out like
LeBron dog, in a wheelchair. No, he shit on himself. He legit. No. Paul Pierce legit pooped his pants. He even admitted it on live here. He's like, yeah, I had,
Was that before or after they fired him?
Oh, this was a long time ago.
Nah, he's good, bro. He's got money.
No, I know. I was just trolling.
But hey, didn't like a porno company like offer him a marketing job or something like that?
Was it Pornhub?
I don't think it was, but that's just
it might be. I mean, last thing I need to see is Paul.
Stop it! No, stop it now! No.
The last thing I need to see is Paul Pierce on Pornhub.
Oh no!
Hey, let's go into the other fight.
Please.
With Hall and Weidman, where the fight just starts. Weidman freaking pretty much does the first kick or any punch or kick, the first strike, I should say, and then he breaks his leg and it folds in half like a chair. Like, what was your thoughts on that? Because that was disgusting shit.
Man, that was Anderson Silva-like. That was Kevin Ware-like. And I know that was basketball. That's a different sport.
Paul George? Did he that one of the USA basketball?
I don't think it was. It was bad. I don't. Maybe I just don't remember it. But
a little bit. What are you doing?
It was just so vicious. It was like, oh man.
Give me water.
And then he didn't know it was broke until he stepped back on it.
That's the thing. Like the adrenaline was like. That's what made it so disgusting. Like if you broke, you fall over. You know it's broke. But to not know, and then you try to fold it, it just folds, and then you're like,
damn. Yeah. Fight game's tough.
Yeah, dog. Don't skip leg day. That's all I can say, man.
Yeah, that looked pretty bad.
Don't skip leg day. You ever wet a cigarette and you just kind of like that last French fry when you get French fries from McDonald's and they don't fry them long enough? He's just wiggling,
wiggling and jiggling.
He said,
yeah, man.
Oh man.
What? Hey, the other fight.
Me after the first round.
What about what's her name? Wei Li? I think the Chinese fighter, the female. getting knocked out by Rose. I think it's at 115 weight. So she's before this fight, she was 21-1. So she lost her first fight, and then she was on a 21 fight win streak. And then she lost, and she was pissed, kind of like a poor sport about it, but saying that they called it early. Did you guys see that one?
I think I saw her Rose knock her out.
With that kick.
Yeah.
Like D says, don't miss leg day.
I'm telling you, dog. That's the number one rule out of this whole card.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a nasty. I think it was a left kick to the head and just boom, done. Then the hammered fist her and they called it. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, you gotta protect the refs. Gotta protect both parties, right?
Yeah.
So I think the whole thing on this card was, don't miss leg day.
Don't miss leg day.
But when you talk, Drew, when you talk about how Jorge kind of making this fight, like, right? Would you put him in a category? He's not a champion, but when I'm talking about in a category of making a fight with what he says, his antics, do you put him up there with McGregor?
McGregor has had 2 belts in 2 weight classes.
No, that's why I said that. I said no championship.
Oh,
like no chips. But when he's talking and talking and talking, that's what I'm talking about. Building up the fight, marketing wise.
I'm gonna say, to answer that, I'm answering that question. If he were to make a fight with Jake Paul, that thing would probably sell like 3 times what they did this last fight with the Ben Askren one, because he is kind of that Conor McGregor personality. Now, however, he's not like, he hasn't won nothing but the BMF belt, which honestly I think Usman should get now, dropping him like that. Because I don't know if you look at the
well, he's not part of it. He's not a part of it, so he can't fight for it.
I don't care. He should still get it. He dropped that man.
Well, he's knocked him out twice.
That should be the definition of BMF.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you said, twice.
But I don't think he knocked him out the first time. Did he? I can't remember, but I know I saw that hit.
I want to say he did. No. You know what? Because he wrestled him. That's right.
And that was the difference. I think Jorge was getting ready to wrestle and go 25 minutes, where he was surprised. That's where he needed it to stand up, because I think Jorge's a little better striker, but when it comes to kicks, right, that's the difference. But obviously, the jabs and the straights of what Usman brings with all that power, I mean, you saw what happened. So I think you shouldn't be talking the way he's talking until you actually win something. That's my thing. You can't really say shit until you actually are on top, right? I know you got to build the fight, but at the end of the day, this is what happens. You look like an idiot, and then on the right-hand side, that's what you end up with, right?
Yep, you get knocked out.
Yep. But did you guys have any?
Let's stay on that for a little bit. Would you? Yeah. I know you didn't pay for the last Jake Paul fight or the first.
I'll never pay for a Jake Paul fight.
I'm never paying for any fight.
See, you're terrible. You're why boxing's dying, D.
Well, I'm just saying, bro. Like the last good boxing match I watched, what was it, Cotto? When he fought Pacquiao, right?
Yeah, that's a minute ago.
And then I watched that fight, and then I watched the.
Well, you better watch the Joshua fight in Fury.
Hold on. I watched the Conor McGregor and Mayweather fight, and after that, I just stopped watching that shit, bro. So I'm not going to say how I get my fights, but I'm watching the fight. I'm not going to snitch on my plug like that.
You can't.
But no. Going back to the original question, I mean, would you be inclined? You guys be inclined to buy a Jorge versus Jake Paul fight?
I
watch it.
I know you would watch it.
Well, let's go back to that. Let's go back to that. Because during, I don't know if it was after the fight or whatever, Jake Paul and Cormier got into it.
Get the freak out of here. That's
Bro.
not, no, I don't like that. And
Hey,
listen,
I'm just saying they talked and were like going at each other. So
here's my problem with that, because Ben Askren and Cormier are both wrestlers. That's what they do best. I know they fight in the UFC, but they're wrestlers. Jorge is a striker. You put gloves on Jorge, he'll know what to do with them. You see what I'm saying? And that's my problem. These last 2 fights, he walking around like he slept like a champion and whatnot. And they gave him a little fake Triller belt and whatnot. He's not fought a studied boxer or a legitimate striker.
Woodley called Jake Paul out and said, "Hey, I'm ready." Woodley
would be a step up.
He's a boxer.
Woodley, I think he just got knocked out, or
he got knocked out bad.
You see what I'm saying?
He didn't know where he was. He didn't know where he was, bro.
Right.
But at least he's more of a boxer than anything. So it's a step up to be like, hey, I fought a boxer. But Woodley likes to do both. He's
he's balanced. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but if you want a real boxer, I don't know. A lot of boxers are kind of like, fuck Jake Paul. He's they don't like what he's doing for boxing. It's kind of like, it's not real boxing, right?
It's not, but at the same time, I think if there was the right dollar amount, somebody real with a pro license would come give him that work.
I think if he fights a real boxer, like an actual, not just a wrestler, like a name, but is primarily a striker for like stand-up striker when it comes to boxing, or not as like a kickboxer, but like an actual boxer is their primary striking, then and you take that fight, even if it's Tyron Woodley, whatever. He's older, but it's a step up of what he's gone against, right? And then from there, you kind of potentially could have a fight from an actual boxer. And then he'll get his. I even see like Woodley has hella power.
Yeah.
Like he has power. He ain't messing around. He ain't bullshit neither. Like he's there to knock you out. Same thing with Jorge. So if any of those take the fight, Jake Paul's done. He loses the fight. He's done. No one's be like, trash.
But see, and another.
You never fought a real person. That's what the whole thing.
That's another element. And then, what was the weight difference between? Was there a weight difference between him and Askren?
They had to come in at the same weight. But I think they're around the same weight or like a couple pounds. I don't know what the fuck Askren was doing. Looking like a 1930s boxer and shit.
That, and the fact is, because remember, we talked about this on the show too.
Like what?
When you, because he was fighting Jorge. Jorge's what? 170, 160. So
Jorge looked bigger. Jorge looked like let's talk about Usman, right? Like Usman looks hella cut, like just ripped and all that shit, but Jorge just looked bigger too, a little bigger. Like
no. I'm talking about when he fought Askren.
Oh, Askren.
That was 170, wasn't it?
I think it's the same. Yeah.
Okay. So that means he had to gain 29 pounds to fight.
Wait, hold on. So last time Usman and Jorge fought, he had to lose 20 pounds in 6 days.
Who did?
Jorge, to get to Usman's level. So are they fighting at 155 then?
What's welterweight at UFC?
I think welter is 170 and lightweight is 155.
Okay. Well, either way, he had to gain anywhere from 20 to 40 something pounds to fight Jake Paul. Right. So he's fighting a lot heavier. Not saying it would have made a huge difference because of his style and whatnot and what he does.
Yeah.
But that's the difference. I mean, he's not. I mean, he's just picking up a $600,000 check. So, yeah.
You can't really blame him on that shit. It's like,
whatever. If you already fight, yeah, just go pick that up, But
70. What I think it was a good chunk of that goes to taxes. So he's not seeing exactly 600,000, but
he'll see at least 300K.
No, you'll probably see.
That's not bad.
It takes about a third. Taxes are about a third, so
Yeah, it's about 47%. It's supposed to go up to 62 because of the president or some shit like that.
Yeah, that's kind of fucking ridiculous. But he'll say at least probably around 300, 350.
It's not bad. That's a cool walk away.
Not bad for like 3 minutes.
Yeah, to rig a fight and get knocked out.
Oh yeah. The best part of that fight was fucking the robot, bro. That shit was crazy.
That thing was so weird, bro.
He was like dancing and shit. And did you ever see that video?
No, I didn't see anything about the robot. I just heard that shit exploded.
Bro.
Man.
Yeah, I don't know. Something about. You know what? I'm confusing that with the TV show. Never mind.
I'll show you later. But yeah, like I hope he goes against a real boxer because that could be like, hey, if you fight someone and you get knocked out, you're done. Where are you gonna go from there? You're gonna find another person and who isn't a boxer? He'll be losing money at that point.
Yeah, it's a wrap, like a pack lunch if you do that. That boy gonna get knocked out.
So you have anything else on the boxing subjects? Any update on the Joshua and Fury when that's gonna be?
I know it's supposed to be in Saudi.
Because it's supposed to be a 2-fight contract, right?
See, the thing about Tyson Fury and him honoring multi-fight deals.
Well, because what's his name? Who he knocked out, or
Deontay Wilder.
Deontay Wilder. That was supposed to be a 3-fight, like a trilogy, right?
Yeah.
As long as they tied in the first 2 fights, like 1-1, right?
Oh wait, I didn't hear that.
I thought it was supposed to be that. Like
if they tie, I didn't hear that stipulation.
Yeah. Like,
what?
So basically, Fury won. So there was supposed to be a second fight, right? Where Deontay, if he won, then he would get that 3rd fight.
But it was a tie in the first one.
Yeah. So there should be a 3rd
but see,
fight.
there was also a report that said, "Oh, the deal, the contract expired," which I was like, "Hold up, bro."
That don't make sense, though. I think that's just them trying to get out of that shit because he doesn't want to fight him again.
Well, I mean, they were trying to make undisputed this fight here. It said, this is Talksport.com said all the talk from both camps has been aiming at a date in late July or early August, with the rematch coming around mid-December. Yeah. I guess they were presented with site deals on April 11th. So yeah, I mean, yeah, they're working to try to get it done.
Well, I think we should move on to the NBA now.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, it should be a good fight though. Whenever it does happen.
You gonna invest in it, or you gonna stay with your plug?
I mean, that I'll watch because Joshua that dude's fucking huge, and Tyson Fury is a beast.
Yeah. Tyson Fury's taller than him.
Yeah, he also battled addiction when he lost that last fight. The first time he fought Deontay Wilder, he got his ass whooped. Is that right?
No, it was a tie. So Deontay knocked him down, and he was slept for like a minute, but he beat the 10 count. And
yeah, I don't think he beat it.
And it lasted for 12 rounds. But Deontay knocked him down 2 times. But Tyson Fury, he got up both times. And, Deontay Wilder, if you watch boxing, that was basically all that he had really to his game. And that was the biggest criticism.
Yeah, he figured it out. If I bum rush this guy in the first 2 rounds and just get it over with, then the fight's basically done. Because, I mean, if you look at Deontay Wilder, I'm not saying he can't box, but
that's right.
His fighting style is just, to me, it just comes across like a professional Kimbo. If I just go in there and just beat the shit out of you as quick as possible, I have nothing to worry about for the next 10 to 12 rounds. But if you get me past 5, you can beat me.
I think when you say beat him, honestly, that's a overstatement. He just wants to hit you with the right hand one time, and then that's it. That's really all his game is like comprised of. And so that was the biggest criticism of him. Like, you've held the belt for this long. Why don't you try to improve? And then you got Fury, which, he had already coming into the fight. he had already beat Klitschko, who had already put AJ on the ground. He was trying to get that title back. I think I don't know how many years ago that was. So it's like he had already been with the class of the division.
Right.
So him coming up, getting up off the canvas, it's like his resume, supports that. And then the second fight, when he went at him like that, it was just like that's when he really figured it out. But I heard he fired Sugar Hill, whoever the coach who helped him for the second fight. He had fired him already. So, which I don't know if that's the best plan, but we'll see.
Right.